Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Raut, and joining me for this live is Vaibhav Tripathi and Naman Suri. And of course, we're here because India's squad for Champions Trophy has been released. And the biggest talking point is obviously Jasprit Bumrah being ruled out of the tournament. Going ahead into into the Champions Trophy, we all knew that there were serious doubts about Jasprit Bumrah's inclusion in the squad, but at this point, it's confirmed Jasprit Bumrah's injury is much more serious than we anticipated, and it's going to cause him to miss out on the Champions Trophy. But Webov, do you think this sets India back seriously?
No, I mean, as I've said a lot of times, that India has depth. If you look at their bowling resources, even though Jasprit Bumrah is not there, still you have a Harshit Rana who has performed brilliantly in this series in the two matches thus far played in the England against England. So India have depth. India have Arshdeep Singh as well, who has done extremely well in the 50-over format recently. So Harshit Rana, Arshdeep Singh. Then you have a Mohammad Shami who's looking back in his full fledged means the way he has been bowling, you can see that the old Shami is back. So in absence of Jasprit Bumrah, we have been saying this since a very long time that uh, you know chances are very slim of Jasprit Bumrah making it to the Champions Trophy because the look at the schedule ahead. You have the IPL, which starts March, and then after that you have a five-match Test series against England. So obviously you have to preserve your best player. Jasprit Bumrah at the moment is your best player across three formats, and Indian team doesn't want to take chances with Jasprit Bumrah because it's understandably because he has injury issues in the past and same injury issues like back has been a trouble thing for him. He has already sustained back injuries twice in his career so far, international career. So it was always about Jasprit Bumrah. We have been saying this like in so many lives that Jasprit Bumrah will not make it to the Champions Trophy squad because you know there are. It's not just about the Indian team. It's not just about the team management. It's also about IPL stakeholders, IPL team owners. So Mumbai Indians also must have had something to say in this because it's their player. Jasprit Bumrah is their player for 2 months, around 2 months. So they wanted Jasprit Bumrah, and also team didn't wanted to take a chance with him because risking him or if you imagine Bumrah getting injured in any game time during the Champions Trophy, then he would have been ruled out for at least 6 months because back injury takes time because for a fast bowler back is everything. So yeah, it's understandable, but I don't think it will hamper India's chances of going ahead in the tournament and starting well. You look at the group in which they are, Bangladesh, Pakistan. Pakistan squad is. I have seen the Pakistan squad. They don't look like the tournament favorites, even though they are hosts. They will be playing in their host home conditions, but I don't see them favorites. New Zealand is just one nation who can give tough time to you on their given day. But apart from that, I don't see India facing any difficulties. At least making to the semi final. So even without Bumrah, given the conditions that are expected to be in Dubai, I think we will be good.
Naman, are you of the same opinion that Jasprit Bumrah's absence does not really affect India?
I mean, Bumrah is a special player. It will obviously hamper anyone's. If he was in even in Pakistan team, it would hamper anyone's. Australia, Pakistan, whoever he was playing for. It doesn't matter. Bumrah is a special player. It will always hamper. So that was out of the question already because how BCCI was dealing with the issue of Bumrah. We already knew that at some point that if he is going to play, he's only coming into the knockouts and not going to take part in the group stages. So that was quite evident with the way BCCI had been dealing with the issue that of Bumrah. But how they drew him back after from the third ODI, that also made it very skeptical that will he be taking part in the Champions Trophy or not. But the most interesting part, rather than Bumrah being not included in the Champions Trophy, was the part that they excluded Yashasvi Jaiswal from the team and took Varun Chakravarty. I mean, Varun Chakravarty deserves the chance, but when you have been banking on Yashasvi Jaiswal, they played him in the first innings, first ODI, where Shreyas Iyer was not in the first 11 if Virat Kohli was playing. So that is a bit surprising that they have altogether excluded Yashasvi Jaiswal and put him in reserves. More than Bumrah's exclusion, I feel the surprise element here is Yashasvi Jaiswal's exclusion, despite Gautam Gambhir backing him in the first ODI, looking him as an option as the opener. But yeah, Bumrah will always be a that India will be missing now. But given how Shami has been coming into back into his best, and we all know how he performs in ICC tournaments, he gets the best out of himself in his bowlings. And yeah, Harshit Rana too has been getting better. And we all know how Arshdeep has been. He has been phenomenal in his bowling in the white ball format, even in the domestic. If we talk about the 50-over format, he was the top wicket taker. So bowling is strong. We now have Varun Chakravarty as well. Now the option will be whether India go with three spinners or four spinners. That will be the question I might ask. But yes, Bumrah will always be a miss for any team.
Vaibhav, that's actually the next question that I wanted to ask you both as well. Uh, when we were talking about a possible inclusion for Varun Chakravarti, we always said it would be at the expense of Washington Sundar. We expected that to happen, but after Yashasvi Jaiswal warmed the bench for uh, no, only one match he's warmed the bench. First match he played because of a forced change because of Virat Kohli's injury. But at the same time, were you expecting this to happen?
See, at first place, Varun should have already made the squad when the team was announced, because you always say that the players should play domestic cricket, and if they do well, they deserve a chance in the main squad. If you talk about, if you advocate this theory, then Varun Chakravarti should have always been in the squad. But again, if he missed out, Karun Nair missed out despite scoring over 700 runs. So at times you feel harsh as players. But it's good to see Varun Chakravarti coming into the squad, because just imagine Kuldeep Yadav and Varun Chakravarti bowling 20 overs in the middle overs. If it happens, then it's a misery for the opposition, because you have two different kind of bowlers, and the conditions will suit them. The Dubai conditions will suit both of them. So if I am looking at the playing 11, if the conditions are slow, then I will not hesitate in playing both of them, Varun Chakravarti and Kuldeep Yadav. So it's good that Varun got a chance, but again, surprising that, like Naman said, surprising that Yashasvi has been named in the reserves. But I can you can obviously you can back this selection by saying this, that three league matches, and you are not expecting any injury. If any injury if anyone picks up an injury, whether it's Rohit or Shubman, then obviously you have a ready-made product in Yashasvi Jaiswal. But you are not expecting anyone to get injured in the first three matches, because the fitness standards had been set high, really high. So that's why I think Yashasvi has been set out. But because he was never going to make it to the first 11, he was never going to make it to the first 11. That's for sure. For starters, yeah, Shreyas Iyer was always going to start. So Yashasvi was never the first choice opener for them. That's why he's in the reserves. Varun Chakravarti has made a case for himself, and that's why he's in the squad. Harshit Rana was always going to be there if Bumrah was not playing. So, but yeah, again, surprising to see Washington Sundar not being in the reserve and still being in the main squad, because in the T20 series as well, he was used limitedly. Like, he was not getting more than 2 overs, or he was not even batting. So, and now the combination with which they are settled in the first two ODIs that we have seen, Akshar Patel batting in number 5, Ravindra Jadeja contributing with the ball in the field and with the bat as well. So I don't know what they have plans with, as far as having Washington Sundar is concerned. Yeah, obviously you expect conditions in Dubai. You are expecting slow conditions. That's why you are traveling with three spin bowling all rounders and two spinners. So there is a there is an understanding in the team that, okay, there might be, the conditions might be like this. That's why we are going heavily with our spin options, like we did in USA and West Indies last year. So team selection is understandable, but again, Yashasvi not being in the main squad is, you will question this. You will question this in future.
Shomik Chakravarti also joins us. Shomik, we were just talking about, Varun Chakravarti coming in place of in place of Yashasvi Jaiswal, instead of what we were actually discussing about, was What we thought was more plausible was, of course, Varun Chakravarty in for Washington Sundar, which did not happen. How much of a surprise was that for you? Before I ask you about Jasprit Bumrah.
Not a major surprise in the sense Yashasvi was included in the ODI squad as a backup opener because Rohit form was not Rohit was going through a lean patch. Now the fact is that Rohit got 300 in Cuttack and allayed fears about his form. Now he is back among runs. So Yashasvi and when the team management decided to have Varun Chakravarty in the ranks for the Champions Trophy, because at Nagpur, Rohit said he offers something different. That something different the Indian team management and selected the thinking that it can provide an X factor. So that's why he has been brought in. Now, see, if by any chance, if you are, if you are forced to play another opener, you have KL Rahul in your ranks. So that Jasasi was one, in any case, was one opener too many. So it's a pretty fair call in the sense. When you are when you are have decided to be heavily loaded with spin punch, and Varun Chakravarty, you think that he can provide the X factor, then that's fair. And Washington Sundar also in that case, uh, he is he was in the provisional squad because because the Indian team management wants an overload of all-rounders, spin bowling all-rounders, different spin bowling options. Suppose against New Zealand, where they have some left-handers. If you want to use another off spinner, Washington Sundar gives you that option. If someone picks up a Nagel, if you want to bring on a second all-rounder, a replacement all-rounder, Washington Sundar gives you that option. So, in all fairness, I think it was a pretty logical call. Once the team management and the selectors decided that they will include Varun Chakravarty in the Champions Trophy squad, Jaiswal's position became the most vulnerable.
And Shomik, what about Jasprit Bumrah? How much does this set India back? Weber and Naman both think that, with Harshit Rana's inclusion and the other fast bowlers as well, that India's bowling lineup is looking well rounded. What do you think?
Um, See, Gagi, you cannot replace the irreplaceable. 2022 T20 World Cup, Bumrah missed, and after that he underwent a surgery, and we saw what happened in Adelaide, right, against England. So you cannot replace the irreplaceable. But at the same time, they took a very, very rational and logical decision by not stretching or pushing Bumrah. He is your most valuable player. He is the country's most valuable cricketer, and you need him for the five test series in England, where he might be the captain even. So from that point of view, if ever I just I was having a war with someone with a BCCI insider, and what I am told that after coming back from Australia, as we all know, it is known to everyone that Bumrah went to the NCN, or now it is the Center of Excellence in Bangalore, underwent scans, and the scan results didn't reveal anything serious. But he was not 100%. And that is the reason why the team management and the selectors refused to take any chances with with Indian cricket's biggest match winner. So it's a logical call in the sense there was no point rushing him in. And Bumrah is someone you always want to wrap him in cotton wool. So fair, but as I have written in our copy, it's a body blow for India. It's a massive blow. It's a body blow for India. Without Bumrah, yeah, your pace attack is depleted. And he is someone you cannot, be it in power plays, be it in the death overs, be it in the middle overs, when you need to break a partnership, he is your go-to man. When you need to defend 8 runs of the final over, he is your go-to man. So from that point of view, he is irreplaceable, and without him, India will be walking a tightrope.
Final round of questions before we end the show. Amit Gupta is asking, what's your take on Harshit Rana? Don't you think Siraj should have been given a preference over Rana? Weber, what do you think?
See, it's a bit surprising for me, if you look at just pure stats. Post 2022, Siraj has taken the most wickets for India in this format in one day cricket. So, obviously, it was surprising to, I think, most of the people when the squad was announced and Siraj was not there. Even when we look at 2023, I think after Kuldeep Yadav, he took the most wickets in that year. Obviously, last year we didn't play as many one day cricket because it was all about T20 World Cup building up to that. But yeah, now if you look at just how the things have been, the how the squad looks, Harshit Rana has been given preference over Mohammad Siraj. So you see the trust that Harshit Rana has earned, whether it's of the captain or the team management. Harshit Rana is, despite going for runs, we have seen that he's a wicket taker. He brings out something. He is more like a Shardul Tagore, right? In any situation, he will get you wickets. Even if he goes for a plenty of runs, he will get you wickets. He is that kind of player, and obviously he has that ability to rush batters with his short balls. So that could come handy in UAE, in Dubai. So I think that's the logic behind it. Also, Rohit said that we are not completely sure how, we are not confident about Siraj bowling with the old ball. That's why he was left out when Rohit was asked this question, that why Mohammad Siraj has been left out. So Rohit clearly mentioned that we are not very confident with Siraj's skills when it comes to bowling with the old ball, old Kookaburra white ball. So now you can understand why Harshit Rana has been preferred over Mohammad Siraj. But again, harsh on Siraj, I would say, because when you have performed, when you have taken wickets, when you have given match winning performances, remember to 2023 final against Sri Lanka, Asia Cup final, then a spell against the same opposition in Mumbai in the 2023 World Cup at the 1K day. I mean, Siraj has delivered memorable match winning performances in this format. So obviously it is, he would have been gutted, but now he's traveling as he will be traveling as a reserve. But again, you understand why Harshit Rana has been preferred over Siraj.
Now, another question here. Amit is asking, why is Jaiswal out of the squad? There's no backup for a pure batter now. I think Shomik explained it,
Yeah.
that there are already quite a lot of top order batters there, but still, let's take a different one. Rohan Kalita, I have a doubt on Shami. What is your guys' take on him? Rohit said, yes, Siraj's old ball bowling isn't good, but what about Shami? He isn't a great death bowler either. Naman?
It's a
Yeah, I
very
mean
so.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, sir.
No, no,
Go
Naman,
ahead,
go
sir.
ahead. No, 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 please, Naman, go ahead. I will chip in. Please go ahead.
Sure, sir, sure. No, I was just saying that. I mean, yeah, there are doubts about Shami. I mean, that is true that he might not be the best of the death bowlers, but that doesn't change the fact that he has been one of India's best ICC ODI in the ODI format. He has been the best bowler for India. I mean, I'm excluding Bumrah, but despite that, Shami has been the best ICC bowler for India. So that, I mean, death bowling, that I mean, that is the point that needs to be taken. But that Rohit said it clearly that they wanted someone to do it with the old ball as well, and Siraj effectiveness goes down despite him being one of the best. Statistically best bowler for India over the past few years. But Shami has always been a key figure in Indian bowling lineup, and gelling alongside Bumrah, he has done superb for the team. There are other bowlers that who can take up the mantle from Shami if it is required in the death bowling. Hardik Pandya is there. Uh, I'm not sure about Harshit Rana, but Arshdeep also does bowl very well in the death overs. So that might be something that India might be looking upon. So, and the fact that they have taken so many of spin bowlers, I feel Shami might not be bowling the full quota of his bowling overs. So He might just be focusing on the death bowling part, and that might be something that we might see that he might improve on that. So yeah, so if you want to pitch in then on this.
Gar- Gargi, I would also like to add a bit more to this. It's a very valid question from Rohan Kalita. See, as of now, when what happens without Bumrah? Mohammad Shami will have to lead the pace attack. Now, Mohammad Shami, as of now, I mean, he hasn't hit to be in top fatal. He needs to get into the group. Then you come to Harshit Rana, who is clearly a work in progress and certainly not finished at. And Arshdeep Singh, despite his exploits in T20 cricket, he is still sort of unproven in the 50 over format. And this is the reason why this, I mean, there is an overload of spin bowlers, experienced spinners in this squad. That spin is going to be your go-to options, your go-to bowling options in Dubai. So that is the reason why you see that overload of spinners in the squad. So even the team management and the selectors are a bit unsure about the pace attack now. And I think when Bumrah sustained that injury, I think there was some indications. We are not privy to it, but the power. I mean, those who are in the inner circles, maybe they are privy to that, and that's why they were apprehensive whether Bumrah would be available or not. And spin-heavy attack is their backup option. It's a very valid question. Without Bumrah, the pace attack loses the sting.
Absolutely, 100%. But we will come back tomorrow morning or tomorrow noon at 12 to discuss this in depth. We'll be back for the before the match, so we will obviously pick up this debate once again and analyze the squad again. But thank you so much, Vaibhav, Shomik, and Naman for joining, and to everyone who's watching. Don't forget to join us once again at 12:30 tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. We'll be there live before the match. So join us then.